You're listening to the Womanpreneur podcast. Empowerment in business and life.
Well, hello there. Welcome to the Womanpreneur podcast. My name is Melissa Moats, and this is the lovely and talented Amanda McEwen.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, you warned me today that you were feisty, so I'm really excited to see what happens in the next 45 minutes to an hour.
Whew, anything's possible. I feel good. You know, I had a day off yesterday and floated around a little bit in the pool and I feel refreshed. I feel caffeinated.
Always good things for Melissa.
Well, you know, caffeine does a body good. That's what I say.
And it's a perfect timing for you to feel good, because what are we talking about today?
Well, our theme for the day is, are you having fun?
Doesn't always sound like a business topic, but I believe, and I know you believe, that no matter if you work for somebody else, you work for yourself, you have to find ways to have fun in there, because work, unfortunately, for most of us, takes up most of our week, most of our time, you know, for many, many years of our lives. So if you're not having fun, you're probably not as happy as you should be.
Yeah. And I think in addition to, are you having fun with what you're doing professionally, are you also having fun in your personal life?
Also a good place to have fun.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about how I know a lot of people who take their existence so seriously.
Right.
And I mean, whether we're talking about work life or, you know, personal life or whatever, and I'm even guilty of that at times where I'll be in the, you know, midst of my daily, you know, activities of what I'm doing, and I'll think to myself, man, I'm just taking this a little too seriously. Melissa Moats, you're a voice actor. Like, come on. You're telling stories and becoming character voices and doing all kinds of cool things in your life. And it's supposed to be fun.
You're sitting in your closet in your PJs.
Right.
Talking to yourself,
standing.
basically.
I'm standing.
Sorry, she's standing.
I just want you to know. I don't sit down on the job, Amanda McEwen.
So you do take it, you know, somewhat seriously.
Yeah.
No sitting down on the job.
No sitting down on the job. I wear my real professional pajamas. And
can you describe professional pajamas for me, please?
Well, they look like, I'm trying to think which ones that I want to talk about. My professional ones, they are pressed, and
you do not press your pajamas.
I was just trying to be creative and think of a good answer for you on the fly.
As long as it's no pants, then we're
most
good.
of the time it's whatever I walked in that morning. So it's usually like some capri, you know, walking pants, like yoga pants.
You don't have to keep going on this. It's perfectly okay if you want to move on from your pressed professional pajamas. But I do like the alliteration, so.
Okay. And some kind of a real whimsical top.
A whimsical top.
That maybe has like Woodstock and Snoopy on it.
Okay. So now we all know how Melissa Moats works.
It's great.
And she takes herself way too seriously, as she said.
I do.
So we have to remind her to have some fun sometimes.
Yes.
On this podcast, we have no fun ever at all.
I think I'm crying a little
a
right
little
now.
bit. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun for me. And speaking of fun for me, I think it's important to, you know, point out that what's fun for me is not necessarily fun for you.
But some things do cross over.
Some things do, and I didn't mean just you specifically, but
Okay, good.
in general, you know, what's fun for you might not be fun for somebody else.
Yes.
Doesn't make anyone more or less fun, but you kind of have to do the things that work
You have
for
to know
you.
what's fun for you.
Right.
I actually made a fun list.
A list isn't fun, though.
But you know what? It depends on what kind of things you're listing.
Okay. Let's hear some things on Melissa's fun list.
I actually think I specialize in fun. That was one of the things. I think that if you ever wanted... Sorry.
I feel like I think you need a business card that says fun specialist on it.
I think I do too. I actually was going to recommend that if you ever felt like you needed to seek out an expert in fun, that you get a hold of me. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Oh shoot. Okay, I'm crying. Okay.
Like I said, we take ourselves way too seriously on the Womanpreneur podcast.
Okay, well, one thing I want to talk about first is the power of dad jokes. And if you don't know what a dad joke is, you're missing out. My favorite dad joke of all time is, what is the difference between a hippo and a zippo?
You told me this recently. I'm not going to give away the punchline. What is it?
The difference is one is a little heavy and the other is a little lighter.
Yeah.
And
you call them dad jokes. For me, those are grandpa jokes because my grandpa has tons of them, and they're always the best and the worst at the same time.
That's what's so great about dad jokes.
The cheesiness and the yeah.
Okay. Would you like me to talk about my recommended fun list?
I would love for you to talk about your recommended fun list.
Okay. I put a little thought into this today before I came in.
You're still crying.
So I am still crying. So one thing I just want to say is you can find fun in anything. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter you could be sitting on a podcast set with your friend drinking Starbucks, and you could absolutely lose it over laughter.
You can't. Can I elaborate on that?
Yes.
Because that right there, the making anything fun it's my existence.
Yes.
Is finding fun everywhere, because I do feel that fun is a choice.
Yes.
And it all goes back to mindset and the things that we talk about all the time. Mm-hmm. But you can choose whether to have fun in a situation or not. And I love finding fun in the most mundane situations possible.
Yeah.
And, just this has been coming up a lot lately, but just the other day, I went to see Marcus. I haven't seen Marcus for a long time. And sorry, now I'm crying. I'm still crying too. I'm like all stuffy, but we had plans to go meet for coffee, but he had an electrician coming to the house, and it's like everything kind of got messed up. But it was like, okay, well, I guess we're going to Home Depot. It's like, okay. And he and I had the best time at Home Depot, talking to the people, trying to find this very specific light bulb that he needed for an address plate. And it was one of those things where we were catching up in between, but just wandering through Home Depot.
It's like a scavenger hunt.
Right. And most people don't like, some people love Home Depot, but just the act of that, we were supposed to be, sitting down, catching up, but it's like, just go with the flow and make fun out of it. So Home Depot, it was a
There's
great
a lot
journey.
of fun to be had over there at Home Depot.
And because you can never just take one trip, we also ended up at Lowe's after that. And
wow.
And it continued. But it's that idea that you can choose to make that fun or not. He could have complained and like, oh, now I had to go run this errand and it's messing up with our plans. Or you just go with it and figure out how to make it an adventure.
Absolutely. It sounds like quite the adventure. Did you guys find that light bulb that you needed?
We did not.
Well,
it was an unsuccessful mission.
But a fun mission.
It was a fun mission.
Fun.
And I told you the other day, when I was in Hawaii, and there we were in the grocery store. And then one of the girls who was with us, you know how sometimes in the produce section, like they pipe in the thunder sounds when they are washing the produce? She got so excited. I mean, just had never heard that before. And it was like the best thing in the world. And she was so happy. And then it made me really happy to see, like, just walking through the grocery store, some little thing like that. It's like, why not just love that so much?
Why not take a second out to observe that that's fun? And I love it. When you said that, it sparked one of my fun memories of my two cousins coming from Croatia for the first time to the United States and seeing everything through their eyes. One of the things that stands out in my mind was taking them to the grocery store and them just standing in the cereal aisle in complete awe of the options of cereal that are available in the United States of America. And they stood and they were like, cousin, look at all of this cereal. And I said, I know, right? And I had never really thought about it. And I was like, yeah, that is a lot of cereal, as a matter of fact. And they were like, we're going to be here for a little while. And I was like, okay. So I did like all my grocery shopping and I came back and they were still just staring. And then they came up with like 3 different ones they wanted. And I was like, we're going to get them all. Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch were the choices of the day. And my favorite part of all of this was I would be working at home. You know, they were visiting for like 2-3 weeks, and they would stand behind me and watch me edit my voiceover work, eating cereal out of my cake mixing, like my mixing bowls. They were standing there and they're like, you know, eating their.
It's a great sound effect.
Thank you.
Your sound effects make me happy.
Hey.
I find them fun.
Thank you. And they were like, we need more milk, cousin. And they were like just chomping down on their Fruit Loops, and they were so happy. And then they were like, what time we going for sushi? I was like, priorities. I love this.
You know, but that perspective of just finding fun in the little things.
Yeah.
Because it's not always going to be some grand adventure. You're not always dipping off to Hawaii on a whim like I do, which is a great thing to do.
Yeah, that was good.
But, you know, sometimes when you're stuck and you feel like maybe you're in a bit of a rut, or your life is just more routine or mundane or whatever, it's like just look for those little nuggets of I don't know, just finding appreciation in some little thing.
in the small things, absolutely. But okay, I'm going to go back to my fun list. Well, first of all, I want to just say that I think that it's a really great idea to make a fun list. And I think making a fun list is thinking about the things that you used to do when you were younger that you thought were fun, or thinking about things that you believe could be fun. Mm-hmm. And if you're not sure, maybe start with making a list of things you're certain are not fun, you know, that helps you with some contrast. But to me, things that I think are possibly fun, could be fun, or are fun in my eyes, I'm going to just rattle a few of these off. Maybe a reading marathon, a Netflix marathon, or an actual marathon if you're into running. I'm not. But a Netflix marathon is
But
good.
Aren't you running in something coming up?
I'm going to do my first 10K with my sister-in-law, Danielle, and I'm really excited about it in November.
So it might move on to your actual fun list.
It might be on my fun list. Right now it's on my questionable fun list, but I get to wear a tutu. So that is going to be fun, and I'm ready for that.
And there we go.
So I think getting outdoors is fun, like hiking, paddleboarding, getting involved in anything that helps, you know, release endorphins. Laughing is fun. Seeking out people who make you laugh, I think is fun. Look at how you just perked up. You do make me laugh.
and you make me laugh. And
I almost wanted to high five on that, but I refrained. I kept it down. Look,
and it's
high fiving is also fun, according to me.
You. Again, for you. And that's perfectly fine.
Yes. But you make me laugh. Brent Mukai makes me laugh. Abby Moats makes me laugh.
Our studio audience right now, they make me laugh as well. So.
Yes. Chad Letts makes me laugh.
Chad Letts makes everybody laugh.
Yeah.
We could have a whole episode on the people that we know.
I want Chad Letts to be a guest.
We need to get him on here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he should be he should be our first boy guest.
Our first boy guest?
Yeah. I think he would be
We'll probably have to
sensational.
bleep him a few times.
Yeah. We'd have to we'll have to beep.
Yeah.
Beep. I'm sound effects girl today.
I know. It's fun.
I think painting, drawing, or exercising adult coloring book efforts is a really good idea. Because when was the last time you colored? Tell me.
I can't.
Is that fun for you?
I don't know. It's been so long. I have no idea.
Put it on your questionable list.
I don't have a list.
Well, you're gonna have a list.
I don't think lists are fun, Melissa Moats.
Fun lists are fun.
See,
have you ever made a fun list?
I have not. So I'll put that
you're
on
not
questionable.
sure. You're not sure if a fun list is fun.
And see, it's funny because I think out of the two of us, most people would assume I'm the list maker.
I love lists.
I am not the list maker.
Yeah. Well, fun lists are fun. I would like you to let me know what you think of that when you make your fun list.
I'll let you know.
A couple of other things I'd love is maybe have a bonfire and make some s'mores and tell some scary stories. Make sure you have a flashlight with you because it can enhance the storytelling.
And that you're in a safe environment to have a fire.
Yes. Make sure that they're, that's good. Fire Marshal Amanda. Bake a cake. Frost it with a very bright color frosting and put extra sprinkles on it. Make a homemade pizza. Have a pillow fight. Yes, have a pillow fight. Play a board game. Barbecue.
Wow, it's double-sided.
It's
Or at least
double-sided.
it's going on the other side, guys.
Water balloons and squirt guns are always good. And I think going to a beach, putting yourself near any body of water, you might not be a person who likes to get in the water.
Right.
But I just think being near water just seems to really help make you feel great.
The ocean is pretty much my happy place.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way about lakes. We have a lake here that I don't love.
It's a very dry lake.
It's
not
shrunk. Like
it's-
the water
it's
level's way
shrinking.
down, and
It's kind
there's
of-
been some weird stories
when
about
you
the lake
go
over
there,
the
it
years.
doesn't make you feel good because you're just, I don't want to say it doesn't make you feel good, but I always feel very distracted by noticing how low the water level
Right.
is. And it makes me sad.
me too.
So that's not fun.
But the ocean is fun.
The ocean's fun.
And for me, like, I don't even have to be in it as long as I can hear it, or, I like to see it. I mean, I used to, when I lived in LA, I would just go and drive to there's a little quiet section of a beach in Malibu that I knew, and I would just go and sit there and just stare, sometimes for hours. That was like my best moments of clarity always came from there. Like
Yeah.
even now, I mean, I don't live near an ocean, but I go to them as much as I can.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's my activity, is I'm just going to sit here
Yeah.
and listen and observe, and I'm going to go inside my head for a
That's
while.
one of the things you can put on your fun list, Amanda. I'm just saying. I think that experimenting with your hair and makeup can be very fun.
You can't
Amanda's
see my
making a
expression,
face.
but I'm being very obvious that
I want
Melissa and I have
maybe Shane
different
can
fun
slip in
lists.
a sound effect there.
Okay.
For your like a question mark or
okay.
like a wah wah something really good. That Shane, I'm just saying. I also
Now Brent's crying, laughing. We've now added our third crying, laughing person.
What sound do you put to a facial expression?
I also
That's
think
a challenge for Shane to figure out. That's on Shane's
on
fun
Shane's
list.
I want
fun
to
list.
see. I also think that lipstick names and nail polish names, the color names, are very fun. And I always check to see what they are. Okay? Like one that I love is called Candy Yum Yum
Okay.
by MAC.
The-
I love that. Go ahead.
I have an accent wall in my house that I painted with the color Swizzle Stick solely for the
That's
name.
fun.
I was choosing between different ones, and I'm like, this one is called Swizzle Stick, and that makes me happy, so that's the color I went with.
I think that's so great.
I also believe in fun names.
So when you're at Home Depot doing fun things, picking out paint colors, you could decide what color to paint your room based on the funnest paint name that you encounter.
And it might be
If-
Swizzle Stick.
It might be if you are feeling feisty
Okay.
and like taking chances. I said that an idea that I have that is very fun, this is also going to sound terrible to you,
Okay.
is to go shopping for clothes and try on everything that the person that you're with tells you to try on. Yeah, my sister-in-law and I try to find the ugliest thing
I'm
we
hurting
can.
on the inside, everybody.
I know. But my sister-in-law and I try to find the ugliest thing that we can find when we're at a store, and to see who the winner's going to be, like who finds the ugliest thing. And then like if she wins, I have to buy her lunch.
Okay.
It's a fun game.
There you go.
I'm just saying, like we really get serious about it.
Serious about their fun.
Another thing I think is fun is a bubble blowing contest. Like with bubble gum. I've done many of those in my day recently with one of my nieces. A costume party with a costume contest involved, I think, is a lot of fun.
For you. That's actually one of the things that I debate with people often, is I don't enjoy costumes. I do not like dressing up. I don't feel comfortable when I'm not me. Melissa's giving a look, for those of you who can't see it. Same look that I give her through most of this episode. But I don't like it at
There
all.
should be a sound effect involved with this too.
Whatever that sound effect is. But again,
Shane's going to surprise us.
just because it's fun for you,
I know.
but and you actually don't force it. You
I
do
don't.
invite me to your costume parties, and when I show up as myself, only high
From
school
high
Amanda
school.
or dead Amanda or whatever version of Amanda I decide I'm going to be that day, you understand.
I
mean,
support it. I'm
you
super
do.
happy you're here at my party.
Thank you.
Or there. Here.
I'm here for the party.
I'm
It's
glad
fine.
you're here too.
Right.
It's very fun.
Thank you. But yeah, it's again, sometimes you have to remember that. I know you're going through a list, but I want to put some things in there.
No, I'm glad.
That it's important, just to understand that do have differences. And so if somebody is out, like, don't try to crash somebody else's fun. Like, I'm not going to put you down and say, oh, costumes, I don't like those. Like, to me, I'm going to support your love of costumes and appreciate the effort that you go, because you go all out for your costumes.
Thank you.
And I do enjoy going to your party and seeing the effort everybody else made. I just don't particularly enjoy that effort, so I go as me.
I appreciate the fact that you're not a parade rainer. You never rain on my parade.
So when we get our new cards, you're going to be a fun specialist, and I'm not a parade rainer.
That's correct.
I like it.
That is exactly, those are our official titles.
Not a parade rainer.
Not a parade rainer.
I like it.
And you're always very supportive, even though you have different ideas for fun. For example, not wearing costumes, and things of that nature. But you really support me, and it means a lot to me.
Thank you.
And anyway, do you want me to finish my fun list?
You do whatever you feel is right.
Are you so having much fun? More. I'm having so much fun reading it, and then we can get to the seriousness of fun in a minute. But I've got a couple more.
2-page double-sided list of fun.
I could have given you a 40-page list, but I knew we only had so much time. Smile while you're doing anything, because it feels great. Build a sandcastle.
I just have to ask, because I'm looking at her list, why is smile and build a sandcastle on the same line? Like, that's one coherent thought, like smile and build a sandcastle?
I think that when I was writing this list, I was thinking about how important smiling is. And then the next thing that popped in my head was building a sandcastle. And it was just, they went together somehow.
So you're not just sitting there grinning like building your sandcastle with this giant...
I think that if you're building a sandcastle, you should have a smile on your face.
That's fair to say.
I mean, right now, I'm picturing a thought bubble in my mind of someone building a sandcastle. Please do this exercise with me. What does that person who's building a sandcastle look like to you right now?
They're probably smiling.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interact with pets, your pets, other people's pets, dogs, cats, goldfish, all of the above. I think
Marcus has a naked guinea pig.
A naked guinea pig? What?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't elaborate more on that. I just, while he was on the phone with the electrician, I got to meet the guinea pig, and I wasn't quite sure what kind of animal it was. And I'm pretty good with animals, but he was just this creature, and he ate a lot of hay. And that to me was fun. I just watched this thing chew up all this hay.
Maybe you should knit this little guinea pig a sweater.
I don't know how to knit.
Okay.
And is knitting on your fun list?
No,
it does not sound like it would be on mine.
It's not on my fun list. I tried to knit one time, and it didn't go really well.
Okay.
I just tried to make a scarf, and it ended up being a scarf that maybe a Cabbage Patch Kid could wear.
Okay.
So go to an amusement park is on my fun list. Yeah. Another face, Amanda McEwen.
But the reason for this phase is I can't ride any of the rides because of my neck. So for me, this is very controversial.
Okay.
And a lot of people, this might turn off some people, so I apologize.
Oh, man.
But most people feel like Disney World or Disneyland is the happiest place on earth. And to me, I don't think you could devise a place to torture me more than Disneyland. We've got lots of screaming children. We have germs everywhere. I can't ride the rides, so I just basically am there standing in line talking to people and then watching them go ride their rides. And I can't eat the giant turkey leg because I'm a vegetarian, so I can pretty much have a churro and wait in line. But those things are okay. Those are fun things.
Way to find the fun at Disneyland.
But I don't go out of my way to go there.
And me, on the other hand, I feel completely like at home. Like, that's the motherland for me. I literally walk in through the doors of Disneyland.
And the cartoon birds come out and start singing and
chirping.
Yes, they find
me.
Yes, I believe that. I can actually visualize you walking into the doors open or the gates open, and there goes Melissa and all her cartoon friends, and she starts singing.
Yeah, we sing and dance and skip and reunite. It's a great moment.
Okay.
But I really feel good when I'm at Disneyland. I feel good when I'm at any theme park.
I think you feel good pretty much anywhere you are, though.
I try to feel.
Because you know how to find the fun in places.
I do, really. I specialize in fun. As you've heard. I only have a few more.
Okay.
And then we'll.
And then we'll be out of time. So.
So I also recommend spending an afternoon with very cool kids. like for me, my nieces and nephews are some of the coolest kids ever. I mean, they are so funny and smart and creative. And when I'm with them, I literally feel like I am also 8 years old and I have so much fun with them.
But that is, yeah, I think that feeling is something worth chasing. Because that time when you're a kid, you don't have any worries in the world.
Yeah.
You're not worried about income and jobs and responsibilities, and you're just kind of free. And it's a shame that it's like they always say that our youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah.
And it really is, because I'm always thinking like, how do you get back to like that feeling where you're just a kid riding a bike and you're like wind in your hair and you're going down a hill really fast, and that's the only thing that you have to think about at that moment.
You could put that on your fun list. That'd be a good
I
one.
did. I rode a bike around Munich not too long ago, a few years ago. I hadn't ridden a bike in ages, but it was one of those things. I'm like, of course what else am I supposed to do while I was here?
Yeah.
And it was a little wobbly, but I did not fall. And I rode a little beach cruiser around Munich for
That sounds like
hour.
a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Did it have a basket?
It did not have a basket.
Well, I would have liked it too.
Don't judge my fun memory.
No,
just because I didn't have a basket.
In my mind, I pictured it having a basket. I'll just live there with that.
You live there, but now see, the way my mind is weird. Now I have a basket, but like you're sitting in the basket, and I think that would be a lot of fun. And somehow like put Melissa in a little basket on a bike, and we're gonna go ride around.
Be so fun.
This is a weird episode. I'm just gonna throw this out there.
Somebody on Photoshop just Photoshop that exact image.
Okay.
I'd like to be wearing this dress.
Listeners, get on that if you know Photoshop.
Okay. We are going to put that out there. That is our challenge to our listeners and viewers. Melissa, go ahead.
The basket also has little flowers on the front of it.
So there's a lot of visual imagery to work with here. But
and you're flying over the moon like an ET also.
Oh, okay. So there we go. Who are our Photoshop experts out there, and can you help us make this vision a reality for us, please? Yes.
Wow. Couple more. Mini golfing is great.
I'm too aggressive with mini golf. Like,
are you really?
There have been a few times when I maybe hit the ball too hard and it
Whoa.
I haven't played in years that either, but
would you like to go mini golfing sometime?
perhaps.
I
would probably do that with you.
All right.
I would do that.
I'm looking forward to that.
But you might want to keep your distance just in case.
Well, I'll make sure I'll like wrap myself in like bubble wrap or Charmin. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bubble wrap suit sounds fun to me.
Yeah, that does sound like fun.
And probably necessary for a clumsy person like myself.
Pillow forts.
Okay, yeah.
When was the last time you made a pillow fort?
Is that what you and Troy do in your home?
Well, sometimes.
Okay.
So, maybe I'll see if he wants to have a pillow fort later tonight.
I would like you to share photos when that happens.
Yeah.
Please.
We actually make pillow forts to record voiceover in when we're on road trips. So we actually do make our fair share of pillow forts. They're great. I was just going to leave off with I got 3 more. Okay. That's it. Mine is relive one of your favorite childhood activities. Mm-hmm. Just relive it like riding a bike. You haven't done that in a while.
I really like watching people recreate their old family photos.
Oh,
You've seen all of those on the internet when you just, like their photo of like 4 siblings as kids and then they try to recreate it as adults. I just think that's fun.
Me too. I love that. We actually did one of Abby running on the beach when she was like, how old were you? 3, 4? She's just 3 or 4 years old, running on St. Pete Beach down in Florida. And then like 2 years ago, we were all, taking a walk on the beach, and Abby and her dad were walking. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly like that moment. And we talked about it. And then you were trying to run and look like you did in the picture.
Exact hand and foot position. Like we ran just like we did almost 20 years ago. It was
incredible.
We will have to share that photo with our audience as well.
We will. We will. And then I was just going to say, having a sleepover, forcing your friends to stay overnight. Like if you're all,
she's looking at me, guys. I'm looking away.
Well, sometimes like if friends are over and they've had too much to drink and then they're like, I'm just going to stay over. I'm like, that's fun. Okay, go ahead. I like having breakfast the next morning. Like we all like make, I was going to say bacon and eggs, which is going to sound terrible to you, but
Melissa's fun list does not include me.
it does. I would
fine.
make you
fine.
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts? I actually
Yeah.
don't know if I can eat a Pop-Tart. There might be gelatin in those.
Oh.
I'm not 100% sure.
Waffles?
I can do waffles.
I could.
Vegetarian patties in the freezer.
I do have vegetarian patties in the freezer. Hey, I would make you a vegetarian patty and a glass of water.
That's if you're not picking up on how boring I am, like this, I think this is given a very, very good thing. And we've now spent 30 minutes talking about your fun list. I hope you guys are getting a lot out of this. Hopefully this is sparking some fun for you. If not, I apologize, but I don't really apologize because I think we're all having a lot of fun
I'm
right
having
now.
so much fun. And my last two are...
Last two. It's been your last two for like the last 20 minutes. Okay.
I'll just list them off. Old-fashioned pen paling, like writing a letter on paper, putting a stamp on it. My nieces and I are pen pals.
Okay.
And I love getting letters from them in the mail. It's because they're so cute. I love to hear what they write. And it's important for everybody to use their handwriting and, exercise writing on a piece of paper.
Well, they still learn how to do that.
Hopefully they still teach that in school.
Yeah.
And so my nieces and I write to each other. It's really fun. I think pen paling is great. And then the last thing is maybe, do a spontaneous day trip or a spontaneous weekend getaway.
Or a spontaneous week trip.
Yeah, or a spontaneous week trip. Like some people around here just go cruising through the jungle on a zip line.
The zip line was fun, by the way.
Great.
Zip lining is on my fun list if I were to have a fun list. But I think, and that's, I know, we're being very silly today, and I think that's great. But it is important to not get caught up in, especially you're running a business, and I'm very guilty of this. Like I'm about 3 years into officially leaving the corporate world and doing my own thing. But I've made a very conscious effort to be hyper-focused on building my business.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to get so caught up in that you're like, if I'm not working on this business all the time, I need to make sure I'm putting my full effort in. But, after some time passes and you realize like, okay, things are okay, it's really important to step back and, just have fun while you're doing it. Because, especially when you are a business owner, there's so many rewarding things about it. And one of those things is the freedom to go have fun. So when somebody says, hey, do you want to go to Hawaii next week? You just have to move a couple things on your calendar. And it's like, of course. But it really, for me, it comes down to saying yes to opportunities. Yeah. And it's one of my rules because as an introvert and somebody that doesn't like to leave the house a lot, it's very easy for me to just, stay in my own little bubble. And I'll be perfectly happy. It's a fun bubble, my bubble.
It is.
But it's easy to get stuck there. And so like a few years ago, I just kind of made a rule that, somebody invites me to do something, and if I think I might have fun or there's at least an opportunity, then I'll go. Like if somebody invites me to a nightclub, I'm not going to do that because I know without hesitation, I'm not going to have fun there. So I've tried it, doesn't work. Move on. Yep. But, like even yesterday, so of course, by the time this episode airs, I think we're in October, but as we're recording it, yesterday was the 4th of July. Yeah. My friend texted me in the morning and she just said, hey, you want to go to the Springs Preserve and watch fireworks? And I didn't really want to do anything, but I was like, it'll be good company. And we got there and, it wasn't necessarily the most fun event I've ever been to, but the company was good. And that made it, I was like, so I'm out of my house for 3 hours. Like it's not, I could have chosen to focus on, okay, this is kind of a weird place. There's nothing I can eat. This cover band is not great, but instead it's like this cover band is not great and it's kind of funny and the conversation is good. And, you find the good in it. Yeah. And it, so I take that as a win that it was fun.
I think it's great that you did that. And I'm glad you had a good time. And one thing I wanted to point out is that fun is a stress crusher. And especially, when you're running a business, starting a business, raising a family, going through, the daily grind of any kind, stress is a really serious part of, it creates health problems. It creates so many different unpleasantries in your life. And when you have fun, you literally are crushing stress and you're stopping stress in its tracks. So that's just something I wanted to throw in there. The other thing that I wanted to mention about having fun is I just totally lost my train of thought.
okay.
So was that fun or what?
That was so fun. I'll let you
Go
try
ahead.
to think about it. It's one of the things I like to do. And again, people I think often perceive me as being too serious also.
Yeah.
And which is, it's fine. I don't take myself that seriously, but except sometimes I have to. But
Yeah.
I like to make sure that other people don't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
So I like to try to get away with stuff. Like I try to convince people to do things that they wouldn't normally do. And I'm usually pretty subtle about it and make them think it was their idea. But, it's one of those, it's the little thing that makes it fun for
It's a
me.
superpower.
Because I like to see what I can get away with.
That's an Amanda McEwen superpower.
It just happened recently. I had, somebody that you mentioned running, but it's somebody that runs half marathons. And I had this, the weird image, people do this, there's things in slow motion and, they stop for the water. I'm just like, oh, it'd be great. Like if you stop for your water and you like dump it over your head, you should send me a slow motion video of that. And it's something that's way out of this person's comfort zone because he's a fellow introvert and, doing weird things like that. Took it seriously, and I got the option of full frontal or from side angle, how I wanted the slow motion video.
Options.
And then he went through with it. And so that's just that. And I'm like, look, you did it. It was fun. He had fun. I had fun. Just
and you can look back on that fun.
It's so ridiculous. Like there's no reason this video should exist. So it makes me happy that I feel like I got away with something, but it pushed somebody to do something that you normally would never do. And that was fun for me.
I love it. And I remembered my little side thought.
Perfect.
My thought was, what if in any moment of your life that you find yourself complaining, that you stop and you say, what can I do in this moment to make this fun? Mm-hmm. What can I do? How can I look at this with some fresh eyes and find the silly in it? Mm-hmm. Find the feel-good moment in this. How can I replace this complaint with a fun observation? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of creativity involved in that.
That, I think, is great advice.
Yeah.
And it takes me back to childhood memory, which is the thing on your list. I paid attention. But when my brother and I, when we were kids, we used to walk. We would walk to the Kmart. That was, in the radius of what we could get to. And, walking to Kmart doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun.
Sounds like a blast
but
to me.
For us, because there's, all these little places that we had to walk through to get there, and we turned it into Super Mario Brothers. So everything was like this weird internal video game for us. And so, have to run certain ways to get up the, little ditches that we were running through. And but it makes no sense, I know, as I'm trying to explain it, but it was just a thing that we did that made that walk from our house to Kmart fun. And we did it all the time, sometimes we would ride the bikes too, and that was a different adventure. But I do like trying to apply that, even if you're doing, the boring business stuff, like you're doing your bookkeeping or admin work, is there a way that you can turn that around instead of being like, ugh, I don't want to do this, to I don't want to do this, but I'm going to find a way to make it fun.
Yeah. And there's a lot, what you do is you put on 80s music and you make a really great cup of coffee. And then it's fun.
There you go. Sometimes the music is a really big trick for a lot of that stuff. For me, I have to put on my cheesy 80s metal, like if I throw on some Dio or Judas Priest and, crank that way up. Like I understand that it's bad music, but it makes me so happy.
Doesn't matter.
And so sometimes, that's what you need is just, but loud music in general, like when it's, even when it's really good music, but sometimes that will shift that mood right away.
It's a good thing. Mm-hmm. So I think this whole point of this episode today,
do we have a point?
For me, my personal take on this was, life is meant to be felt and fun, and don't miss the good stuff. Mm-hmm. I was driving home from Pilates class the other night, and these words just kept going through my mind over and over and over again. And the words were, drive home, take the long way home tonight, Melissa, and just don't miss a thing. Don't miss a thing. Mm-hmm. And it was a beautiful night. and I took the top down on my pink convertible Beetle, and I cranked up some great music. And for me, it was some super fun, cheesy 80s tunes. And it was just like the perfect temperature outside. And I was driving through Seven Hills. It's just real hilly, and you can only drive like 25 miles an hour. It's just, so I was like, yeah, I'm really going to just soak this up. And I just kept thinking to myself, don't miss it. Just don't miss the fun. Don't miss this moment. Just take the long way home. And I did. And I'm glad I did. And I was thinking to myself, I hope I can remember to remind myself this more often. And I've been trying to. So for me, the reason I wanted to do this episode was because I knew it would be a lot of fun. I hope that it makes our listeners and our viewers smile and feel good, and to find the fun in whatever it is that they're doing, and to just not miss the good stuff. And that's where
that's
I'm
really
at.
important. The end of Ferris Bueller, there's a quote that reminds, it's like life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop to look around, you might miss it, or it's something like that. It's close. I've seen that movie enough times. I should be able to recite it, but on command, I can't. But it sums up just what you said. And I think it's so important to take those moments, work hard, but play hard too.
Yeah.
And earn, you realize, you can't just be all work all the time.
Yeah.
You have to reward yourself with that fun, and you'll find the balance, like with all things. But, you have to be able to appreciate the moments. And when you can do it in like the smallest moments, it makes it much, like it's easy to appreciate a big moment or a big event or like a planned vacation, but if you can go into the grocery store and have a good time, or driving in traffic, like that's a huge thing. If you can just, find a way to enjoy it and be at peace with it, and there you go.
Absolutely.
Ferris Bueller quote is, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
That was pretty close.
That's a really
there you
good
go.
one.
But
And can I add one more quote?
no.
Yes, I can.
okay.
You need to be more fun, Amanda McEwen. I was going to say, I read a Charlie Chaplin quote not too long ago. I don't know if you can look this one up, Brent, but I'm paraphrasing it, but a day wasted is a day without laughter, something like that. And I thought, yeah, that's so true.
A day without laughter is a day wasted?
A day without laughter is a day wasted.
We clearly have not wasted this day recording this episode.
I'm having a lot of fun. Did you have fun?
I did
Amanda
have fun.
McEwen?
I did. It's like I said, it's a weird episode, but I think we need that. You need to throw things off balance, off kilter. What am I trying to say?
I don't know, but
I don't know.
Whatever you're saying, it's
fun.
really fun. To me, it's. I think this episode is just as important as any other episode we've ever had, because this balances out, all of the other topics that we touch on. Fun is just as important, if not even more important. So have some fun today.
Thanks for tuning into the Womanpreneur podcast. Until next time, you've got this.